This story really is really kind of cool, Jody, because you've got Kenny and Bob.
Kenny and Bob.
Didn't know each other.
Yeah.
Hardship kind of put them together, and now they're pretty good buddies.
It's funny how life works, isn't it?
Isn't that true?
So both Kenny and Bob are from small North
Which one's
Dakota
he?
towns. That's Kenny.
That's Bob. Must be Bob there then, huh?
Bob is, yeah, good job. Bob is from the big city of York, North Dakota, which I had to look up on a map. Kenny's from Elgin. And so they're both going through prostate cancer treatments. And the treatments are only about 15 minutes a day, but they stay in town because to drive home and back every day, 5 days a week is just too much. The cancer center has these apartments that they can stay in, and they just started visiting, and they've become the greatest friends. And what is so cool to me about this story is I had left my phone, walked away from my phone, and I got back to my phone and I had a call from a friend who works at the cancer center. And I also had a call from Sarah Kelsch at the cancer center that I missed. And they were both pitching the same idea. And I was like, well, I got to call Sarah first because she's like the boss.
Yeah.
But a nurse had come out of the room and she just was kind of tearing up because one of them was talking about the best thing about this whole cancer experience has been my new friend. How wonderful. How wonderful to be able to see the good in such a bad situation. And they cook supper for each other and they just sit outside and visit, and to have somebody going through the same thing that you're going through that gets it.
Not only that, they had some common interests too. One's a farmer, one was a big time gardener, and they had, you know, the green thumb thing going on.
Yeah, Bob's thinking maybe when he retires he'll move to Elgin.
Yeah, that and you know that Kenny's going to hold him to that.
Yes,
if that indeed
exactly.
Comes to that. Let me ask you this. You said you had to look it up. Where is York?
It is in Benson County, like Devil's Lake-ish area.
So quite a ways.
Yeah, quite a ways.
I think
he said it was 180 miles one way.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, it's about 151 miles to Amadon from Bismarck.
Oh, did you look that up?
I did,
have
because
no
I
idea.
was going, can I make it a day trip? Because this looks fantastic.
You totally can. I have been trying to get to this story for years, and finally I was like, I'm just going to take a Saturday and do it. So extra special this year. But you know, a dozen or so years ago, somebody said, we got all this rally traffic going through town. Let's raise some money, because how does a small community raise money? There's about 20 people in town, about 700 people in the whole county. That's asking a lot to keep funding this rural fire department. And they get some grants and some other funding, but it takes a lot of money to run a fire department. And if there's a fire, they're all volunteer, and they got to have good equipment. So
it sounds to me like the former sheriff who sadly passed away last fall was the brains behind this idea.
Yes, and I had a text from a gal I know who said she was his office assistant when he came up with this idea. And to see how big it's grown. And one of the couples I talked to, well, this guy, Steve, is from Tioga.
Okay.
And he plans his trip every year to the rally so he can stop in Amadon.
Is he the guy that's been there twice, that was there for the second time already?
No, that guy's from Bowman.
Okay.
Yeah, so not too far away. I said, have you been here before? He goes, it's my second time. And I thought, it's only the second day. He was like, I don't get it. What's the problem? No judgment. I would go every day too.
Exactly. Did he come for the beer or the brats or the burgers?
Well, he was having a brat, and he had his grandkids with him.
Oh, that's
so,
right.
Yes.
They looked like they were enjoying it. Now, that other couple that was there, do you know where they were from?
Dickinson.
Okay.
Yep.
So they're all North Dakota couples.
Yes, and the Dickinson couple, they weren't going to the rally. It was just a beautiful day. And she said, anywhere on the bike is better than staying home and doing yard work or housework. And so they had stumbled upon the burgers, brats, and beer last year, and so they thought, we're going to go to that. And then they had a route planned to go back a different way and go back home.
That sounds good. I would imagine that along Highway 85, that gets a lot of traffic on the way to Sturgis this time.
Yeah, well, that's a busy highway anyway. But yeah, this time of year, it's crazy.
Did I read how many burgers and brats were sold last year?
Well, they have ordered 1,500 of each, because they take last year's numbers and they add a few.
There you go.
So I hope they run out. I hope they have to order more, which they can do on short notice. But honestly, the best part is the buns.
Yeah.
They get them fresh from Bowman every day. And A good bun on a burger makes all the difference.
You know what's really weird is they were putting the brat into one of the buns and putting a burger on. I thought those buns looked really soft.
They were so good.
There you go. If nothing else, go for the buns.
Yeah.
They should have burgers, brats, beers, and buns.
Yes.
You know, because if the buns are that good, they need to put part of the equation. All right. Let's talk about the Sweet Adelines, because this is a group that is going to get to step on an international stage.
Yeah, pretty amazing. That's Bonnie Strami. She has been a part of this. River Rhapsody is what the local group is, like Sweet Adelines is the overall title, and then it's River Rhapsody is the local group. And she is a charter member, Bonnie. She started it in 1974, never thinking she'd get to go to international competition.
Do you know where that's at?
It's in Ohio.
Okay.
Which is cool. Yeah, not so far away. But Bonnie's, I think she's 81. And
that's cool.
This is just what she's been waiting for. So, yeah, it's very cool. They are one of only 5 in their group. So there's different sizes and groups and whatever. One of 5 groups from the entire world that gets to compete.
Wow. That is
they
so
need
cool.
to raise a lot of money, about $30,000.
Next October, right? Not.
Yep. So a year
2026.
2026. Yeah.
Correct.
So they have a GoFundMe set up. We have links to that, but they'd really like to earn their money by singing.
Yeah.
They need to sing anyway, and it's what they want to do. So if you have, I don't know, a big event, Wayne, maybe you can support them.
You know, their birthday's coming up this fall. Quick question, we're down to about 30 seconds. You know, we see these minute-and-a-half stories. How long does it take you to shoot, write, and put a story like that together on average?
Well, Amadon took all day because it was just so fun.
Yeah.
And because I was waiting for the perfect shot of the motorcycle to drive by the sign, and you know that takes a while.
Sometimes you have to wait for it.
Yeah,
right?
it just, every story is so different, right? Some are quick and some are an all-day affair.
You do a great job, and we thank you for sharing them with us.